must be this ID. Then I'll go to my debit and credit table on my database and search for that ID. People that I will keep saying search the database, they will come here. This is not search. This is see filter rows. See search here, search, and go to paste it in the field and come here. So once I'm here now, if I look at debit and credit 005, this is what it's holding. So these ones are like constant. Then debit and credit 011. So after this query, nobody will tell me that, oh, that's how all the money has moved from the patient account to the vendor account. This will prevent it from moving anywhere. Then we know. So what I usually also do is I used to add a tracking parameter to my query, so I can also track what was updated in case village person created problem for me. So I'll just use this creator row field. Put today's date 12th April 22, and I can put what the reason why I wrote my query. Say moved, and let me just say moved patient. So this will be, I'll use this to track all the queries that I'm writing. So in case anything happen, I can recover the data from backup and write another query to override only the ones that meet this criteria instead of replacing the entire database. Then people also will start complaining. So this is the first query to move the bills and payments. The next query, so if I put hash, this is like comments in SQL. The next query is I want to move all my encounters. My encounters, we've identified the table already, appointment 2. So I'll say update appointment 2. These are very simple queries. Update appointment 2. How do I know which field now is? This is my customer field. So I'll say set this is equals to current, where this is equals to deleted. Here is only customer information that I enter in this table. So I'm not bothered about any other hand. So I will just remove the remaining parameters and leave only this my tracking information. The next consultation, very straightforward queries. All of them are simple and straightforward. This is my patient. Bah, bah. Investigation. It's So in your code that you're writing, don't write it one by one for me. Use an array and loop through it. Let me add to you. You say you came and met me and say he has passed, so he has finished. So now I'll be giving you complexity. Loop through it. Because if I had a loop now, I won't be doing this thing one by one. It's because I'm writing this query manually. The next one is prescription. I'll be very happy when you guys start doing these things small by small, so we can move to a permanent site. Lewis will be like, who that one help?
I didn't say anything like that.
Don't mind me. The last one, admission to ba 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 ba. Which other table should we add for them? That's okay now. Is there any commonly anything the person would have done?
Maybe vitals.
Okay, thank you. Right house. Ba ba ba. I think that those are the common things.
Not pick word run, Abi.
What round is inside consultation?
Consultation.
Okay, let's do this quotation. This is how I used to always do. I will now won't do more than what I say. They don't know the blessing that God has blessed them. Can you think of anyone again? Okay, but the person would not have done. But let's just put it. Let's
just in case.
And just in case procedure, there are 3 tables. There's operation booking. Let me put comment for this one since there are multiple procedures. There's operation booking. There is there is post-operative note and post-operative order. Post-operative order. So let's stop here now. Diagnosis, and let me add down since it will appear in reports. So once I've done this now, this is pretty much my query. I'm not going to save it since I'm going to send it to you guys. So this is pretty much my query. If you want to run this on another day, change this tracking parameter. So you just simply do this.
Change the date,
Change the date so you can track it. So in case there is mistake, we will not start crying. But don't run it on their always. If you change anything in here, first of all test it. Create a test case on your system. Test it first before you now, once it's correct, before you now move to their system and rerun it. So it reduces the amount of possibility of errors. So what you just be doing each time you want to use this thing now, you just copy. So let me use, I said I want to use this down here as the, let's use this one as the, which one now, current or deleted?
That's current.
Okay, let's use this guy as the current now. You know how to get the patient ID now, so I'm not bothered about showing you guys. So if I come here, I'll do current. I'm coming. Before I do this, let me just put another copy here. So I've put all the ID in current. Let me now go to the other Daniel that I want to use as deleted. That's this one. See this, I see now. He has balance of 200 and 1,800. Let's look for his ID. From here, to look for his ID, you can click on just any of these buttons. You will see the ID here. If you inspect any of them, you see the ID. So let's use this one as deleted. So once we've done this now, remains to run it. But let's create our test. 6 different test parameters. This guy debt. He had some bills on these days and payments. So we can track what happened now. Let's see, he has some. Let me just use consultation. He has one consultation on these dates. How many vitals? He did not have any vitals. The new one that we're moving to now, he has outstanding debt of 3,000 and he has some bills on this date. So by the time it merge, you do the math now. It should be 204. Let's see, does he have consultations? He has 2 consultations, so it will be 3 vitals. You have 3 vitals, it will still be 3. So if I want to, even if I've tested these queries of my code, if I want to still run it on their system, I will still take a backup of their database first, in case you don't want to hear we'll start restoring the backup to the test. Once we restore finish, we'll now run another query to update the old information from the test so as to restore it back to how it was. So the reason we're not restoring into the life is because even when they're doing ekpe, people are still using it. So we cannot restore into the life. So let's test call this moment of truth, our queries now.
You've not deleted the patient?
I'm not deleting.
Okay.
There's no need.
There's no need.
I have the 2 IDs, so we've run. Wait, I did not write my query here. Set this is equals to this, where this is equals to this. Okay. I don't know why it's showing me 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Maybe because it's separated tables or something.
No, it's supposed to show me number at least, but let me see first. Set stop. Okay, let's go. Let's just check the results first. If it doesn't work, we'll now come back and debug. This is the guy that's supposed to increase. Nothing happened here. Something is wrong with my query. I still have 2. Something is wrong. Let me look at it again. I say update debit and credit 002 is equals to the current guy. Is yeah? Let me confirm. Is this the current guy ID? It's correct. This is the current guy ID, where the ID is equal to the old guy. Okay. My bad. See the mistake. I said and creator row is equals. This one has not run now. My bad.
But can you undo any query rating?
No, that's what I'm saying. That no, but it's good as it did not run. None of the query ran because of that condition
Okay.
I added. So it's here I'm supposed to add it.
Okay.
So this is where I'm supposed to add it. So as to update, I added it in the wrong place. So, but now this one that I kept here now is waste. I shall now do this h current. Deleted. So let's run it again. My bad. I was like, something's supposed to happen. So it seems has happened. So if we come back to this guy now, that's infected to 204. We'll go to consultation.
Okay.
It's 3 now. If we go to White House, it's still 3. This basic info, you can ask 12th of April, 3,000, 30th, 1,000, 30th, 1,000.
So you want to add both debit and credit.
And we mix them up. So 12th, 3,000, 30th, 1,000, 30th, 1,000. The next one should be 11th, 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 11th. So it's now added these ones.
Okay.
So they say everything now fall in place, and it's now correct.
So
That's
okay,
all.
okay, that's that tracking online. If let's say there's an issue now, how are you going to track it?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. That's a good question, but I will not answer. If there's an issue, you just simply I don't know what the issue will be, but if I want to track it now, I want to see all the debit and credit that I updated today as a result of this my query. I'll just come here to search creator row. So these are all of them. You see it. So if there's anything, if I want to, if they are not plenty and they say, can you return? In fact, just return it back. What sort of nonsense? I will now use this tracking to write another query to return it back. It's safer than when I did not know what was updated. If they say return it back, I'm like, okay, it cannot be returned. But now I can return it back just because of the tracking. But I will need to write a query to return it back. It's not as if there is an undo button. To return it back, can you write the query? So let's use this one for example now, this appointment. In fact, no, let me use this one back. That can see easily. To return this one back now, I will just take this one and put it here. Now we take this one and put it here.
Okay, the current is going to go to deleted. What deleted goes to current.
It's to reverse it now. Then I will take, because I have my tracking now, I will now say and tracking is equal to this is what I wrote the first time. So if I run this now, it will return it back. How much will it become? 3,000.
3,000.
Just because if I don't have that tracking ID, I can't redo this that I just did easily like this now. So, but because I put that tracking ID, I can return it back. I can move it forward. So you saw how I did it now. The moment you do your search and replace with the IDs, do you have a copy of their database?
No, I have to call Mr. Ken to give me access. Probably I will just maybe
see the access this thing. See the login details. for the team. Now, Brin Lewis has a very big head. So that Lewis said, no mind that, so he just they do any and yeah man. No be yeah man be this. Four nine on me. You know Sabi.
No, you change it. And Michael said usually this is usually in provisioning.
No, it's not different. Okay.
Mm.
No, it's not
They
there.
said if you need
Oh my Michael, he knows Sabi. He knows Sabi. It's not there. Where is this? Angel.
So which means the remaining stuff is Michael to meet, not you again. Man.
Which remaining stuff?
You know the access rules stuff.
Access road stuff, meet Michael.
Michael.
It's Sabi Amu. But he did not tell me the rest and finish now.
I thought maybe the thing we should know.
That chat is Mumu chat. Please don't copy their. If you must copy their database to your system for test purpose, it's fine. But
What with that patient info?
like to be safe,
Alright.
if you're like my own system, nobody know the password. So I die. So they don't feel lock up. So nobody can come. I know that there is no how person can tell me that it's from me that they stole data from. It's impossible from my system. So, but if you're leaving your system anyhow, to be safe, once you're done with whatever you're testing, wipe the patient, empty the patient table. You can leave every other thing because it's ID.
Yes,
By the time you wipe the patient table, to be safe. Then the second where problem might come, the first one is theft of data, which is actually very low. Because hardly with somebody Nigerian, they will not get sense reach that one level. Before somebody will go to your system when you're bathing and now start trying to, they don't get that kind of sense for this country. So, but still to be safe. The second challenge where problem will come from, you're going for presentation. You go and now open person another hospital data. It's fall hand though. Because if I'm the one you're presenting to, I'll just be like, hey, Jimmy, now wait you all do me be this. Before you say, I will say our data on top of the Punch newspaper or Instagram tomorrow. So that's the second reason why you want to wipe their data and have a separate database for your own work and presentation. This one is just to test, but after testing, like this test now, you require their data to test again. But after testing, wipe it. If you can even load it on their test database in the hospital, and you can use that one to test if you don't want to copy the data. But if you cannot load it, if you can copy it and load it on your system for just, I understand the situation that may arise, but after just wipe to be safe, so we'll not be hearing. Then don't be leaving your computer open if you're going somewhere. Set it, let it be locking, auto lock. That's the purpose of password. Because you might leave your computer now, you might be in Limi hospital now, leave your computer, somebody will now come that is like me. Now click, export, copy the data before you come back. So always lock it. So those are the reasons why well, like don't even copy their data in the first place. But understand some scenarios that might warrant for that. So once you do it, wipe it off. There's no, it has gone.
So please, you will send me the minified or the one, because the one that I have is the one of MIS.
You have Hella.
Okay, I'll use it.
Okay. This man Adekunle Osiwaju.
If let's say I did not run the query today, let's say I want to run the query tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. 12th April. I'll change it to that.
No, you can still leave it. But it's just to track.
Sure.
For example, if you want to run the query 2 times today, and you've run the first one and it's fine, everything is working, you've tested it, they now come ahead, there's another patient. Don't still leave it on 12th. Just change it. You can change it to 12A, 12B, 1201. So it's just to track that second. So in case the problem mistake now came from only the second one, we'll know what we are focusing on. So it's just because I put dates. It's just something unique per this query you're running, so we can easily track the query. What did we say is problem number 2?
Problem number 2 is the aspect of we are creating a menu.
No, that one
No.
is that
Okay,
one
that's
is
by the way.
something we said we wanted to do now. Say we'll write this query to merge.
Which we've done already. We've merged everything.
There were 30. I think not 30. There are 3 things we said we'll do now. We say we'll merge. We say we'll prevent delete if account is not balanced. Nobody was writing when I
Okay,
was
and
saying these things.
then before you cancel, before you do anything, I remember when you were telling Michael that before you cancel merge any patient, if there's
No, delete. This one
delete.
self is deleted.
Delete.
We say we'll check if the balance is not
Balance,
balanced.
yes,
If we not delete, then which one is the last one? There's one last one.
Yeah.
Cost of sales.
Cost of-
And remember that the right now. That's the reason why you see me. I stated it first. So in case I forget, somebody will remind me. And I did not write it intentionally, because if you write it, you will pay more attention and follow. Let's say we'll prevent deleting if the account is not balanced. So let's use this. Let's use this Daniel guy now. This one now that has this number, you say your account is 0. So you say I have my test case already. Wait, this one, if I delete, this one should go. If I delete, if we write the code correctly, if I delete, this one should not go, should not delete. So using these 2 guys now, the delete, how do you know where the delete is going to? If you select, you click delete as if you want to delete on a normal day, and you click yes.
You want to do the table or something?
You want to know where it's going to. So I will just do one, for example. Now I will not click my yes and finish. I will come here first. I will set it to offline, so it doesn't go to the server and delete it yet. So once I've done that, now I now come here, select another random one, click delete and click yes. See, it will tell me that response error is because I've set my browser to offline. So once I've captured it, I can come back to no throttling. If you come to payload now, you will see where it's going to. Customers, delete. So Jesus, we should not share this video with anybody. The password is on the video now. That means I will not give people the video.
So can change the password now.
It's unchangeable. Well, just don't share the video with anybody apart from the three of you,
Okay.
because the password is now on the video. So I said the three of you, right?
Yes, it's kind of
Okay. So it's coming to customers, delete. So if I want to access this class now, I can go and start trying to trace where the class is. That's one method. But let me first of all try the easy method. I'll come here. I will look for any button, for example this now. Control right click on it. You see it's going to the class. Customers. I will now click OK, so it will open the class for me. So it has opened the class. It's because I set my notepad. A lot of village people I work with is to set their notepad.
So how do you set it?
That's what I'm
Because
showing you now. If you come here to open file, see is inside this file. You need to put where your notepad executable is,
Oh, okay.
so it can be opening.
Direct.
Don't change this other one, so just put this first one.
Okay, whatever browser you're using. Sorry, whatever
root
editor you're using.
Editor you're using, but Notepad works the best. Some will open new windows, but Notepad opens new tab. Yeah, you see Sublime on self. If I on my Sublime now, I can use this one. So once I've opened the class, Abi, is this I'm looking for delete. I will come here at the beginning of every class. The very first method, all these ones are properties. Method is a function. See, it's function, method. The first method carries the same name as the name of the class.
Okay.
So if you come to the first method, you search for delete inside here. That's this to do now. I have now located it. This is where it's pointing to. Delete record. Now this function might be in this class, it might not be in this class. This is where people that are using Sublime used to have advantage, because by hovering on it you will see where the class is coming from, the function is coming from. So but let me teach you old school method. It might be in this class, it might not be in this class. The reason it might not be in this class is if the class has extends. You see some class we have extend, it extends another class, so it might be in the parent class if it's not in this main this current class. But this one is not extending anything, so dole, this function is inside this class. To find the function, I've searched for that. I will put n and space. The reason I put the n and space is so it should just take me straight to where the function is defined. See where it's defined and see what I used to search for it. That's why I put n and space there. Once I've done this now, now inside the function, this is what will finally delete the patient. So before I delete, some certain things are passed, like this ID, or sometimes if I select multiple IDs. So I'm just going to try to handle both scenarios. This one now is where your programming skills come into play. I cannot explain that. I say it's not everything I can teach, but I can teach to an extent. Yes, I can teach this one. It's just that you have to pay me plenty money, because I will not do anything again. I will just be there and teaching
How
this
much
one.
to pay to teach?
Like 55 million.
55 million.
Yeah.
After teaching, she's times 2 and we.
So that's why you see now I say I cannot teach. So because I'm looking for 55 million. If you can give me, I will free all the work I'm doing and I will not teach.
For 5 minutes.
So you'll go build us or hotel.
I want to turn this to an array. This
Yes.
But I want to use this thing React.
What?
React
To
to do the front end.
come again, ask your question.
I'm saying, why is that we're not using React or let's say Angular to do front end of Fella?
What does Angular and React do?
It's front end basically.
And what specifically does it do?
It's funny, it's in HTML and CSS.
Oh.
But it's more easier using that one.
Uh,
Yes.
in what way specifically?
I think that one is you're just calling classes. You are seeing building, but at least it's more, I think, more organized than pure HTML and CSS. That's what I'm thinking of.
It's for well, let me not say it's for people that have problem.
No problem.
Let me just leave it like that. I'm using jQuery. jQuery is still like pretty much, man. See, that's why I say it's for people that have problem. No, it's not necessarily the best. Everything has the advantage and disadvantage. And like I've never looked at React and Angular or anything, because when I started looking at things, they were not existing, and I looked at jQuery, and I now use jQuery to solve all the problems. So the problems they are saying that them have solved, I don't have that problem. So now you see why I say it's for people that have problems. Me, I've solved my own problems before they came out and said they are solving that same problem, of which I've solved it better than what they've done. Their own handles only front end. My own solution handle front end and back end at once. So I'm like, why should I now go and start off? It's like, say you get upstairs, the personal, you go break am down.
iPod.
So I'm like, why should I stress myself? Had it been I was doing something new again, I will look and see if the advantage would actually be real advantage to me. If it will not be, I'll continue with what I'm doing. Bang 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 bang. So I want to get my balance of my patients. In the transactions class, this one I'm just explaining. I don't expect people to understand, but if you understand, code is good. The transactions class, there is one function. I can use this function to get any financial information I want. So for example, if I set up this function like this, it will return me balances of all my patients. There's something that is missing. by simply setting up this function. Like I said, if you don't understand, no problem. Just let me explain. This is the function. It's coming from my transaction class. So for me to use it, I need to initialize the class. So if I select 2, 3, 4 patients and I click delete, so I've put exit here so the code will not pass. If I click delete, you see it will tell you response errors because of that exit I put, so the code will not pass. Because there are some errors here. It's looking for something that does not exist. So if I try it again, database name. So if you initialize a new class, you must pass, if you want to use it to interact with the database, you need to pass this class setting thing, so it holds the database information. So if not, like you see this message I got now, cannot connect to the database. So now see all those my patients, these are their balances. The ones that did not have balance did not come. Let's confirm. They said one person have 38, 318, 200. One person have 12, one person have 204. Let's look for this person. This is 12. This is 318, 200. So you can see it's correct. So any body that is not 0, so let me make payment for this guy so his own will become 0. Let me see what it will return, if it will not show at all or if it will show and be saying 0. So it's just to enable me build my test case. Pepe black, pepe them, Polanli, pepe them. So now this is 0. If I repeat this process again, so okay, it will come as 0. So anybody that did not come here or is not 0, no, anybody that is here and is not 0 cannot delete. So that's what I would want to code now. So since I've gotten my balances, balance, I'll be like, if it's not empty and is array the latest man in the universe. They say Daniel come early, Daniel will come late. Did you read today at least? Let's make put the lateness to good use.
Yes,
What did you read? What did you read in biology? What did you score in biology last year?
I didn't write biology last year.
What did you write?
I wrote chemistry, physics, mathematics, and English.
Hmm?
I wrote chemistry, physics, mathematics, and English.
So which one are you removing this year?
Chemistry.
You failed that one.
Yes.
What did you score in chemistry last year?
I can't remember the score.
How did you know you failed?
You know, there's a number.
Like,
there's a range.
not understand.
There's a range you calculate failure from. So.
Now, so what was
But I
the
can't
range?
remember the exact
What was the
figure.
range?
It's 49.
What was the highest score you got last year?
Yeah, that's what I got last year was 57.
Which subject was that?
It was mathematics. No, 67 plus mathematics.
Okay. So he's now replacing one failure with another failure. Left to me, shall well try your biology. Left to me, I would have said improve. If you got like maybe 40 in chemistry last year, it might not always work with this my theory. That's why I say it's left to me, because it might fail. Is if you add an extra effort, it might increase that 40 to 60.
Yes.
And instead of starting again from biology, what has been your highest score in biology? Or can you remember any of them?
I think I'm better in biology.
Okay.
You want doctor?
And that year it was doctor, that was when. So, yeah, no.
I think I would score better in biology than aside mathematics than any of the science and physics chemistry.
Mm. My hands are paining me. This other work can make hands to pain person. If I'm doing any other work, hand is to pain me. If I come to yes,
Hello.
I'm telling you. If I come to this work, hand will start paining me. Any other thing I'm doing, I don't know why hand is to pain me. The moment I just come here, no, like this, how many minutes? My hand has started paining me.
You want me to be sweet you?
No, it's not the work the work has a lot of validation. It has a lot of work, actually, a lot of validation and this and that and that.
Okay, all like other works are straightforward.
The validations are not so much. That's why when you see people running their mouth, I'll be like, people will die, you die there. You will die there, die there. Everywhere validation. That hand no good pain you. Able to delete some patients, let me just use records because some people when it's customer, some is patient. some records shown below as I'm just going access denied. The record shows below has outstanding balance. This is where I'm not supposed to explain that you can write it off, you can this, that before you can delete. Access denied. Balance must be 0. You go round and round and you go round and round and you go round and round and round. So if we come all things being equal, all things being equal, so now coming from 51 over 51 over happy. So that's this. So I cannot give you pool updates because
You need to stay.
no, my system is not arranged, it's scattered. You see, if you notice when we started that, we can go and remove some things, let
from
it work.
another.
Village people have started to do their work. That's why. So I cannot give you pool update. So you go to your current customers class. You can prepare an update that you will use. The update will just be to update this customers class on any environment. So if you go to your current customers class, you would take out this look for this function, this deleted records function, then you will now use this one to replace it, then test it on your system. Once it's working, you can now take that class and use as update. Is it clear? So what I will do is just to upload this customers class. You see the file path. So I will just zip only this file and send it to you guys, because I cannot give updates. I don't know what more this village has brought to the city. Jesus, see me sending it to one of these warriors. Let me not confuse Louis. If you do it and it's working, you can now give Louis your customers class. So this is the function. Since he's not here, I cannot explain again. So as it stands now, I've tired.